So I just made that video about recording, and I forgot to mention, well, first, I love it's kind of cool and overcast again, sort of here. So beautiful. But what I was going to say was, I bought that headphone jack splitter. So there's one input, and I wanted to hear what the singers hear, and also guide them if there's something they need conducted or cued in, and just to be on the same, literally on the same page. But for whatever reason, I bought this headphone splitter at a music store down here in Conway, near, well, South Carolina, and my headphone only played out of the right ear. The other headphone only played out of the left ear. And so, not to panic, but I really wanted to get out of both ears. Long story short, I troubleshoot, and I find there's another headphone jack in the back of the interface. But I think more to the point, and I feel this way about a lot of what I do, and I think this is true for recording, especially engineers and much better equipped people than myself. I'm not in any way an engineer for mixing or for recording, but I think there is that DIY, the do-it-yourself approach, where I think the basics, I can tackle the basics, a lot of troubleshooting, and doing it with no real budget at the moment. In terms of being at the university and having students, it's also, I think, the experience for them to record and for me to show some examples of just my practice, of what I've learned, again, just doing it. But I keep thinking back to troubleshooting and troubleshooting, being available to stay flexible. And, I know in my experience, I joke a lot about the rule of improv, yes and. Like, yes and, yeah, yes and. You always say that in improv, right? I mean, obviously I'm not a professional improv actor, and my hat's off to them that do that far better than me. But, and, yes, not to get uptight, not to get overwhelmed. And I think part of that is my own feeling of being overwhelmed or being uptight or being type A or anxious. And I think one of the most important things, especially as a director, a teacher, an educator, a music director, a conductor, especially being on a podium or behind a piano, musicians, other people, they really can smell your fear. Not that hopefully they're not out to get you, but as I've reflected on being in the room with other people, often I find myself practicing the non-anxious approach, the non-anxious presence, the ability to exude confidence and competence, or competence and confidence. But the most important thing I think a director can do is create an environment that is not anxious, that is welcoming, that is calming, that allows actors, performers, musicians, other artists to stretch themselves, to feel free to create. And if there's high anxiety, and if there's the oh shit factor, well, that just shuts people down. So it doesn't even matter how good you are or how good the work is. If we can't get to the work because we're anxious or uptight or accusatory or combative, then there's everything else is moot. The point becomes moot, as they say. But in this case, small example of that, just thought I'd share. So part 2 of the recording is I found a headphone headphone jack in the back of the interface I didn't even know I had. And that works in both headphones for me, both ears. And the other one in the front for the performer. So anyway, I gotta get coffee. Once again, hope you're all well. Thanks for tuning in. More to come. It's Monday midday. Well, and speaking of troubleshooting, one of my students either didn't see the email, didn't read the email, didn't show up for their recording session, so we rescheduled. Hence, I'm getting coffee, so it's fine. I really, I really want to do it, and the poor student was a little upset about not being there on time, and it's just like, we'll find another time. It's okay. It's Monday. I leave here Friday. I'm excited to get on to the next. I'm also happy to be here. I'm hesitant to use the word proud because it feels so, I don't know, it gets so possessive, like I'm proud, it's me. But I have an overwhelming sense of fondness and appreciation for the work that everyone's done, and also when they connect to the work and you feel what you have to offer connects to them and makes them feel more articulate, stronger, better for it. That is extremely satisfying. So in that way, I'm very proud of what we've done here. Okay, bye.